Hello everyone, today we're talking about Cabo Verde, a little island country in the Atlantic Ocean. It has fewer than 600,000 people, but has won worldwide acclaim for its resilience, stunning volcanic scenery and kind hospitality. It's one of Africa's most stable democracies and a nation where compassion is commonplace. Today's adventure has interesting stories, so remain with us to the end. Subscribe, share the video, and let's explore the amazing world of Cabo Verde together. What if I told you one of the biggest surprises in the world came from a country smaller than the state of Wyoming? A country of just under 567,000 inhabitants, fewer than American cities, took the world's biggest soccer platform and inspired millions to ask one simple question: where is Cabo Verde? Most travelers have never heard of Cabo Verde, a group of 10 volcanic islands strewn in the center of the Atlantic Ocean, about 350 miles off the west coast of Africa. On a map, it seems like hardly anything. It is one of the most magnificent sights on Earth. Stand on the edge of an island and feel the hot desert winds of the Sahara on your face. And just an hour's drive away, you're surrounded by cool mountain mist and lush sceneries. It's a place of breathtaking black volcanic cliffs plunging into turquoise ocean, where each island is a world unto itself, and nature never lets you forget that size has nothing to do with greatness. But where you are is only part of the story. Many countries have wrestled with political instability, but Cabo Verde has quietly developed one of Africa's strongest democratic traditions, with peaceful elections for decades. Not much in the world news, but it has gained something much more priceless: stability, resilience, and trust. So how did this tiny island country get the world's attention? How did such a little country become a global icon of endurance? The size is not the solution, it's in the people who live on these islands, and their story is only getting started. Let me paint a picture for a second. Imagine being told that your own city has absolutely no chance. What if all the experts said you'd be out of the running before it ever started? Now assume you prove all of them wrong. That is just what Cabo Verde did, and why this story was so much more than a soccer story. The Blue Sharks had been all but invisible to the rest of the world for years. For a lot of American fans, Cabo Verde would not have been on the map, let alone a name they would recognize on any player. But away from the headlines, thousands of young boys chased homemade soccer balls across volcanic fields, with dreams bigger than the islands they were born on. They played not for glory, they played for families, for neighbors, for a flag with fewer than 1 million people. And then the impossible trip began. Cabo Verde battled through one of the most difficult qualifying campaigns in world soccer, taking on African countries with larger populations, deeper talent pools, and considerably more resources. One nation after another dropped out, but the Blue Sharks carried on with discipline, resilience, and unflinching belief. When they finally qualified for the competition, they were the least populous sovereign nation to ever qualify for the FIFA World Cup. Many expected they would disappear as quickly as they had appeared. But they have beaten world-class opposition, produced hard-fought wins, and shown amazing defensive discipline under constant pressure. Every tie was a win. Every whistle blew a forecast dead. This was not a sports story. It showed that courage is not judged by numbers, wealth, or renown. Sometimes victory belongs to those who refuse to accept the limits the world puts on them. And for millions, Cabo Verde proved that impossible is often only a matter of perception. Would you mind if I asked you a question? When was the last time a complete stranger made you feel like family? For many, it is such a rare time that they have almost forgotten what it feels like. But it has a name in Cape Verde. It's Morabeza, and it might be the country's greatest gem. There is no exact translation of Morabeza in English. Hospitality is close, but it doesn't quite express the story. Morabeza is warmth, no strings attached, kindness without keeping score. There is an underlying agreement that nobody should be alone, even if you've just met. You arrive in Mindelo by ferry, in the busy harbor. The sun is burning hot. It's noon. You have a big bag, and cannot find your lodgings. You pull over a local and ask directions. They do not just point down the street and move on. They drop their shopping bags and walk with you for a few blocks. Make sure you get there safely. Introduce you to the owner of the cafe next door. And before you know it, you have been invited to Sunday lunch by people whose names you only learned minutes ago. Just another day around here. That is how the world works. Morabeza also changes the rhythm of time. A short coffee turned into a 2-hour discussion. The meetings are done, but not the goodbyes. Relationships matter more than schedules, so people aren't rushing off to their next meeting. In a world that's preoccupied with productivity, Cabo Verde gently reminds us that some of life's most meaningful moments are never meant to be penciled in. Maybe it is why so many travelers go home with more than just gorgeous images. They depart with people, not places, with discussions, not vacations, and with a feeling that is hard to explain. You have lived Morabeza, and you begin to grasp it. The richest places on Earth are not always the richest. They're locations where people still make time for each other. If you really want to get a sense of the soul of Cabo Verde, don't go for government buildings and historical texts. Enter an average house. There you will find a new type of strength, not the strident strength that calls for attention, but the quiet strength that brings a nation together. Many Cabo Verdean men had been absent for years, working on whalers and mercantile ships, or in Europe and the United States. Some came back years later. Some never came back. The country was transformed forever by the emigration. The world cheers for the folks who get out. But Cabo Verde is the ladies who stayed behind. They raised kids, managed family budgets, cared for aging parents, and made the hard choices that shape a family's destiny. It was up to mothers and grandparents to determine sometimes if a piece of property was to be sold, if a child's education was to be paid for, or if they should wait for money to come home from abroad. Leadership was not always in evidence here, but it was greatly needed. The Rabidantas, the hard-working market ladies who are the heart and soul of local business before morning, still have strength. With astonishing ability, they trek miles between seashore settlements and rural marketplaces, carrying baskets of fresh fish, fruit, and vegetables balanced on their heads. They are pretty serious. That's life. But there is something far more amazing, something under all that serene confidence. These ladies hardly need praise, for there is no yardstick in applause. We see it in the students graduating, in the families holding together, in the towns that continue to thrive against all odds. Strength is not necessarily in a business suit or behind a podium in Cabo Verde. Sometimes it's in a sun-washed frock, food for tomorrow on its shoulders, and a grin, carrying a whole generation behind without asking the world to look. What if the most loving thing you can do for your nation is to leave it? Hard to tell, but such has been the destiny of generation after generation of families in Cabo Verde. Behind the beautiful beaches and endless blue ocean is a humble story of sacrifice. This is a tale that has been told to millions of people all across the world. Today, more Cabo Verdeans live outside the islands than within them. 500,000 people still live at home. But a greater diaspora has formed communities in the United States, Portugal, France, the Netherlands, and Senegal. Driving through neighborhoods in southeastern Massachusetts, you hear Cape Verdean Creole, smell the traditional cachupa cooking in family kitchens, and see generations proudly carrying American dreams and island traditions. This adventure didn't start today. Cabo Verdeans have been crossing oceans for more than a century in quest of opportunity. Due to limited natural resources, recurring droughts, and a weak local economy, many young people were urged to move elsewhere to study and work. Every departing was a hope, but at the family table there was a void. But the relationship could not be broken by distance. Family members working abroad send home remittances, which are an economic lifeline to the nation, allowing parents to pay bills, children to go to school, and keeping local firms in business. Every financial transaction has a story behind it that the figures don't reveal. It's the story of missed birthdays, holidays on video calls, and grandparents holding their breath for the next visit home. And there is the big challenge of Cabo Verde. The islands welcome visitors from all corners of the globe, but many of their own sons and daughters have to leave to make a future for themselves. And yet, throughout the distances, the Atlantic has never been broad enough to extinguish the sensation of belonging. Home is not always the house you live in. Sometimes it's the home your heart never left. Imagine me, one last shot as the sun sets over the Atlantic. The beaches are less crowded. Fishing boats are coming in to land, and then, very imperceptibly, Cabo Verde turns. By day, it is a peaceful island country. At night, it is three worlds, each planet revealing some new aspect of its core. You can't miss the excitement in Sal. When the stars come out, beach bars are crowded of holidaymakers from all over the world. Music drifts onto the sand. Conversations carry on late into the night, and strangers dance as if they've known each other for years. Not simply the land here. That is all part of the fun. But walk around Mindelo and the atmosphere is much different. The cultural heart of the city beats to the slow rhythm of morna, Cabo Verde's most popular style of music. Its soft tunes tell of longing, of journeying, of hope, of love. You can feel the feeling without even knowing what the words imply. It is the kind of music that makes people pause and contemplate and remember someone they have missed. And then Praia, the busy metropolis, and the heart beats a little faster. Funana and Kizomba rhythms, which go back to Africa, beat in the streets. But during Carnival, the same streets explode with a stunning celebration of color, dancing and history. Feathers, drumming, laughter, and decades of tradition all combine to make a unique event in celebrating perseverance and identity. 3 islands, 3 characters, a nation like no other. Maybe that's what makes Cabo Verde so memorable. It never tells you to fit into one version of life. Wherever you are, these islands are with you, whether you want to be happy, meditate, or connect. And when the music slowly fades away as the morning rises, you know that you have not only been to a nightlife, you have been to the heart pulse of a people whose joy has endured every chapter of their history. What if the biggest luxury today is not money, position, success, but time? Time to enjoy life to the fullest. Cabo Verde is a new way of doing things in a world where everything is scheduled every second. Calendars are full and phones are buzzing all the time. Here you'll hear 2 simple statements wherever you go: no stress. This is not tourist slogan nonsense, they think. If someone says they will meet you at 9 o'clock and they arrive half an hour late with a happy grin and not an apology, do not be startled. Here, time is not to be conquered. It is like the sea about the islands, continually flowing, ever flowing smooth. Many American guests are initially offended, but a few days later, there was more than an unexpected event. They look at their watches less often. They begin to see the sunsets, the discussions, the laughing they would have missed back home. But wait, there is more. In some places, people still recognize one another by their own whistled melody. A lady's whistle song, the kid knows she has got him. A couple of quick calls from the fisherman across the harbor to his brother, a signal. It sounds like bird music for the guest, and to the native, it is as simple as naming a man. These customs remind us that communication is more than words. It is about the connection. It's about being clear. It's connectedness. Perhaps this is why Cabo Verde feels so strange. Life here is not what you do before dark, but how fully you live the hours allotted to you. Islands like this are a gentle reminder that in a world that is always rushing up, we frequently find joy in slowing down enough to observe the people right next to us. One question surely springs to mind after everything you have seen so far. Could you really survive a life out here? It's not only a week's holiday. You'll view the Atlantic outside your window each morning and feel this quiet island is home. Yes, has been the answer for more and more people. Cabo Verde is surprisingly affordable, unlike many tropical destinations where paradise costs a fortune. In many cities in the United States, you may get an ocean view and fresh seafood for dinner for less money than a casual lunch. Locally brewed coffee is often a couple of bucks, and comfortable apartments near to the coast can be found at prices that seem almost impossible in places like New York, San Francisco, or Miami. But cheap costs aren't the main reason so many stay. That feeling of steadiness is what actually impacts life. Frequently, Cabo Verde is mentioned as one of the safest countries in Africa, with relatively low levels of violent crime compared to many major cities across the globe. Families stroll the waterfront after dark. Children still play outside. People know each other by name. Neighbors are known faces and strangers become familiar faces. That combination of price, safety, and genuine community has discreetly attracted entrepreneurs, retirees, artists, and remote employees in search of what many wealthy countries struggle to offer: balance. Success is not how fast you go up the career ladder, but if you have time to watch the sunset, have supper with friends, and wake up without the worry of constant strain. Maybe that's why so many people extend their stay and start shopping for apartments instead of hotel rooms. They arrive expecting another beautiful beach destination, and they leave thinking they've stumbled into something uncommon. A location where a simpler life isn't a sacrifice. It's like getting something in return. Another location to view before leaving Cape Verde. No choice of beach. No volcanoes. It is not a historic site. The genuine spirit of our country is at the family table. Recipes handed down through the decades, and every meal has a story that no museum will ever tell. Ask a Cabo Verdean what home really means, and many would provide you with one word: cachupa. It's a symbol of persistence, not country food. Cachupa is a slow-cooked stew of corn, beans, vegetables, and meat or fresh fish, and it is representative of the islands themselves. Simple ingredients enhanced by patience, care, and tradition. It's a feast that is often cooked for hours, enjoyed with family, sitting around the table sharing stories, laughter, and memories as nutritious as the food itself. Then there's the local island whiskey, grog, made from cane. It's commemorated significant occasions, drawn in neighbors after long days at labor, entertained guests for centuries. It's not generally just alcohol, not liquor. It's the conversations that take place once everyone has calmed down enough to listen. And the big lesson that the world has to learn from Cape Verde. We found a small country that beat the odds to get to the World Cup, a culture of kindness, women whose quiet strength has shaped generations, families separated by oceans but bonded by love, music that carries the burden of history, and a way of life that refuses to let time steal human connection. Cabo Verde is not the largest country in the world, not always the strongest, not always the most powerful, and yet well, maybe that is what it is for. It reminds us that the greatness of a nation can be assessed not by the size of its army, or its wealth, or even its geography. It's the quality of its people, the strength of its community, and the kindness it chooses to share with everyone. And the least regions can frequently impact the human heart the most. Each country has a story beyond the headlines, beyond the boundaries, beyond the cliches. We study about its history, culture, and people, and find out that tenacity, adaptation, and hope are human virtues. The main lesson is to go into any place with curiosity, not judgment. Learning from other cultures doesn't only make us better travelers, it makes us more open-minded, empathic, connected global citizens.